Hola, my lovers. Okay, so this share around the topic of law of attraction teachings, karma, paradigm shift, and like noodling around, of course, just these different themes that come up in our collective awakening energies, right? And like law of attraction's a big piece, a spiritual wisdom, and then of course scientific, so-called like rational thought, or from the 3D perspective, that kind of evidentiary support around our own cosmic awakening, which again, in very simple terms, all that means is us as humans feeling better, being able to look after ourselves better, holla, and treating ourselves and the planet better. So like, call it ascension or call it like whatever grand idea. It's just our ability to look after ourselves and the planet better and one another. I'm like, sometimes what I recognize is within then, like, so we evolve and then we get to these spiritual practices, and then what I'm fully aware of is that we then attach ourselves to that, and there's still a lot of egoic stuff to break down within the self, hence karma. So in my awareness at this stage as well, karma is law of attraction. Law of attraction is karma. Like there's no avoiding the projection of self. Holla, MJ up early. Hi Scott. Hi Danielson. Yeah, I went to bed at about 6 o'clock last night and then woke up shortly after midnight. I woke up with a bit of a like, I'm awake. So, right, like, because karma is just the energy we receive based on what we're vibrating, which is the law of attraction. It's just that through the generational trauma, corruption, denial, that's what I call the karmic backlog, is that, so the paradox of the closing of the gap, that's quite bizarre if we're attempting to kind of like learn from other, it can be a bit of a head spin, because no one has the same karma. No one is made up of exactly the same energetic geometry. So we can't, and it's often not what it looks like. So we can't suss out that accurately. We can only really, that's the importance of self-study in like a yoga tradition. Like the only way to work out self is through the self, through retrospect and introspect and hindsight and reflection, journaling, getting to know the innate streaming of your own consciousness, and then to highlight and or work out the distortion in your field, which are lies, which are and lie, I mean, it's all an illusion, therefore on some level it's all a lie. However, the point being, if we want to feel better, we have to be able to consciously choose better feeling thought, which obviously means being aware of the thoughts that feel like fucking shit. Which, whether we're in judgment to self or judgment to other, it's the same thing. Whether we're grievance against someone or grievance and blaming ourselves, it's the same feeling ultimately, and thus we're addressing that, which is why I propagate the things I do, i.e. eat intuitively, engage with your entire reality intuitively, as in allow your own feeling connection to be your guidepost, emotional guidance system, and law of attraction teachings. I just that we often want to bounce out of all of that stuff when things don't go our way, when things aren't nice, when things aren't pretty, when things aren't, like what I'm manifesting. It's like, yeah, except you still got some bullshit vibrating in you, otherwise we wouldn't be attracting this karma, i.e. we talk about karmic cycles, we talk about karmic relationships. They're the ones that trigger the life force right out of us until there is no ego left and we are died. Karmic relationships, mother lovers. Because that's like, those are the breakups, shakeups, the betrayals, the lies, the ones that just brutalize our heart space. And yet, oh, look down here. It's like karma into dharma. Healing heart is the unification of higher mind. So we have our heart often has to go through these cycles. Hello. It's like the higher self does know this. That's why we enter into these contracts. That's why we enter into these karmic relationships. Otherwise, and again, old paradigm would be like, he's a bastard. Otherwise, we find divisive mental tactic to deny the heart. As in, even just yesterday, I was having a moment of like, I could get emotion. Like one of the people in my past who did stuff that did brutalize the heart, and yet the energies that are returning are the fact that I just love this person. Like and it doesn't matter. It's unconditional love. I just know that even despite the pain and despite the lack of the return of like the desire and the feeling and the wanting and the projection and the expectation, and regardless of that being reciprocated, I don't care anymore. I'm like, I just love the essence of this person. I love the beauty of what we created, even if it was temporary, even if it didn't last, even if it wasn't meant to like become what my heart desired. I'm just like, I love them. And I'm fucking going to just love people, and I'm gonna miss them, and I'm gonna love and not want to take, you know? So it's actually quite like a beautiful place to get to. I'm not stressed. I'm feeling, and that's part of it. It's it's not just retrograde, it's all an illusion. You know, these thoughts and these feelings are fleeting, and there's no agenda, and so whatever the biofeedback is for self observing this transmission is that self's biofeedback. So however we're interpreting the transmission is more to do with self than me. Just like my own interpretation and my own reactions and my own stuff is for me, is like my own creative field, co-creative dance that we do. So yeah, like I don't feel stress, and whenever emotion comes up, I just allow it to be there. That's the teachings. It's emancipate yourself from mental slavery. The way we do that is by clearing the emotional karma that we're carrying in the cells of our beings to be able to access a higher mind, i.e. like a mind that can just love everybody no matter what, so unconditionally. And that's not something I experience in my mental capacity. It's something I feel in my heart. Grace is a tangible, visceral experience in our aliveness and our sentience. It's not something I talk about. We do talk about it, but it's not the experiences like the, you know, the aliveness. Mind in the construct of like brainwave and thought form is still a very kind of like, as in we have to put that in its place. We have to recognize mind as like the container is far more powerful than the brain. If I only had a brain. And the heart is a more expansive field. So we're tempering the insanity of the mental loop, i.e. the beautiful creation of mind control programming over generations now. We've got a good few generations going with this sort of laced denial and then psychological warfare stuff going on. So it's like, and regardless, I'm still very present with the fact that any battle, any war complex that we perceive outside of self is still endeavoring for that self to heal the mind, to heal the conflict of mind, to heal the conflict of separation and illusion. Because the more unified we become, there is no separation. And so there's no force outside of self trying to get me. And that's become even to this point, the reactions of that which I once perceived were coming to get me. I'm owning that and going, wow, what a clever game we play with ourselves. What a it is very Matrix like. It's very like, or even like that adjustment bureau thing, I want to say. No, it's more Matrixy, I guess. So oh, hey tree hugger, how are you? Awareness and feelings. So feelings, awareness, right? If we think of the imbalanced perception of I think, therefore I am, what about I feel, therefore I am? Because they're intertwined. You know, and I've addressed this before where people talk about like mental health. I'm like, how on earth can we talk about mental health and not address emotional health? So, and because the feelings piece, and again, our ability to go deep and not be shamed and pointed at and ridiculed for the depth of our feeling space, I'm like, it's so huge. Because in my experience, that's what connects the mind and the heart to create a healthy, harmonious system. Mind, this is from a spiritual teacher named Davinda Ujala, and she's here in the UK. We did Vipassana together actually back in 2011 into 2012. And she once said, a mind disconnected from the heart destroys its host. And I'm like, oh, how fitting. It's like the heart, it's like humanity disconnected from the heart of humanity, just destroying its home. Quite relevant. So via the feeling awareness space, it's connected mind to heart. So mind aligned with heart can think in wholeness versus in imbalanced perception of just having the thought frequency. Therefore, it's, I don't know, it's like I guess I can only just perceive that as an evolution into a certain level of awareness, and yet at this point it's still, there's a limitation to that. Yeah. Well, and it's in my notes. So the like, okay, I'll continue. Connecting mind to heart. So the awareness, and then we have the feelings, and then we connect to the mind to heart, which is the sort of infinity loop, fairly, I would say, ongoing, never-ending process. But so some of the intensity, although it's the words are just not as like, yeah. So then I have karma into dharma. So when I say about like karma is law of attraction is karma, because it's like karma is the energetic loop, i.e. that you reap what you sow, you get what you give. So law of attraction is the exact same principle of you are perceiving what you be vibrating. You know, you don't get what you think, you get what you are. So it's the entirety of your own energetic, sacred geometric, emotional awareness connection to the totality of your beingness, which means the good, the bad, the light, the dark, the beautiful, and the ugly. And that's the totality of your karma. And so when you endeavor to face and own and transform your karma, you begin to live your dharma. Because then you begin to live in the moment, more in the moment, in the divine service of your own higher mind, because you've been dealing with your base tones, i.e. the shitty karma, that as an egoic human, that's the big drop off and we need to face, is that the karmic clearing, and then we call it atonement in Christian language, like that is the dissolution of the false ego construct, again, of separation, superiority, inferiority, a perception of duality that attaches us to the dualistic construct rather than rises us to contain it, to be the chooser of it. the I guess part of the vibration we're endeavoring to close as a humanity is to connect the dots and make sense of the shift from the illusion of separation to the broader, just a little bit more true aspect of quantum creation. Quantum creation, I would say, is much more anchored in a kind of truth. It's just it's not kind of like tangible, and maybe never will be necessarily, except for the experience of self. So the beingness that we are, as in my awareness, working with quantum, it's more true. It's more effective. It's more aligned with like my beingness and where I'm and how I'm wanting to live and vibrate here, versus again trying to fit into like no nothing, just go along with everybody else, you know, like and again, because those of us in this community, and again it's not labels, but there's this sort of this heart space has always been active, i.e. the empath. It's like we couldn't deny there's like suffering fucking everywhere. It's like ow. And then so the awareness of the feelings has been there since birth, since childhood. So for a lot of us, it's taken these last 30-year cycles to really anchor our dharma service via the karmic work we've been here doing. And now through that dharma service, there's an awareness of how in the physical body the humanity is shifting from what we call the three-dimensional mind, perceiving through the lens of separation, disconnected from heart space, bridging to fourth dimensional reality where we're becoming aware of feelings and realizing that there's actually not a disconnect. And then the fifth dimensional, which 4 to 5 days, really like the atonement, clearing the karma, and then living in the dharma flow, which for me was that leap back in 2016, and these last 4 years has literally just been practice of hanging out here regardless of the circumstances and being like, what is love, my lord? And then I mean that's shapeshifted the career, it's shapeshifted my whole life environment, it's taken a bunch of people away, it's brought a bunch of new people in, including you guys in the online community. I just saw something about the heart does not lie. It does not. Yeah, working with the emotional body can clear the mind programs, rightio. And so I believe I did a share possibly back in 2016, or balls, 2018 rather. I did a share about that, and then 2018, and that was like a big piece of it. Exactamundo was that what did you just say? It's like being in the emotional body. So yeah, it's like we want to reprogram here, but we can't access the awareness without fully embody the emotional gate, because it's the way I see it is like as well that because they've shamed, that's the clever distortion, right? Shame the depth of emotion. As humans, we have the capacity to feel, and it keeps people vibrating on a certain bass tone, which is why we end up looping back. And because there's some shady fucking shit going on out there, and we live in this like like majority are still too frightened to endeavor that darkness, but it's there and it's looming. And those of us sort of like like diving in to the depth of our darkness through the feeling resonance are seeing breakthroughs, are seeing how the visceral, experiential, connected. We wake see the thought, that's ugly, no shit, I feel horrible. Well, then that's a lie. Hapa, dragon fire, like, and then and it's that direct and that tangible. And that's the final point I have in the notes, was that's the mind battle. If we see this war and like warring nations and people fighting and killing one another, that's a battle within the self. I.e., is that true or am I true? So if I'm not true, and then or not real. No wonder we go around trying to control everything, right? Because what drives the control mechanism is underlying fear and separation from God, not from anything external. It's the separation from source. It's the separation from our that visceral knowingness. And once we're connected there, in essence, the ever flowing fluid illusion of our own creation becomes a lot more playful. It becomes a lot more like, and still some moments of like, yeah, like this is some sticky shit. Or, you know what? I'm on this loop. I'm just going to keep standing it down. I'm going to keep standing it down because it's always done in the light of our awareness. It always has been as well. I'm having a memory for some reason of childhood when we go back, when we trace childhood memories and we begin to integrate the past life memory bank. So there's this Saturn Pluto conjunct energy, obviously, and I'm aware that that's part of the karma clearing, right? Certain base tones. So like, because I know my cycle is like 82. November 82 is when this transit began. So this is like a lifelong, like, so energies I've carried for the family, or energies I've carried for myself, it's one and the same. Those, all of that karma is cleared, is been done now in this life. So when you kind of get that, know that, feel that, embody that, then that's the awareness of truly like living in that fifth dimensional quantum field. It's really bizarre as well. Increasingly, what I've noticed is like my three, I don't know, it's very bizarro because it's just like I'm increasingly just anchored in this like inner work and don't give that much precedence to the 3D construct. And I'm more aware of like, it's just the for my personal desire and well-being to move away from like just too much busyness, getting to know the self more peace, more love, more outside time, less working on the so obviously I do my work in the midnight hours or like in the early morning hours, and then that's something I've been cultivating for a few months now, is like this life balance thing of like, and I realize it's part of the Aries and sort of Capricornian energy of me. It's like, I like action, I like starting things, I like moving forward, I like the feeling of speed, I like da 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 da. And so this last year and a bit, this transit has just been like all the consequence of going too fast, of making impulsive decisions, of maybe not being that responsible with finances. And then like Saturn is like, oh, you think so, do you, bitch? And then once the cycle completes, my humble heart can see the value of the lessons because I know that I'm a more responsible human, and which is gonna work much better for the next phase of my life because I have one, because when this transit happens again, I don't want to end up in the same situation. That's definitely something I'm aware of. So never in my life did I thought I'd hear myself say it. I'm gonna save up this time. So I'm gonna put things aside. Because of my awareness of things, and there's almost a bit of a rebelliousness in me. I was always a bit like, well, what? Like, and like going, as in the tightness of like, so the limitation I perceived around me, around people making excuses why they couldn't live their lives. I hate that mortgage, I have a job, or I would just be like, I have 300 pounds in my bank account and I'm gonna live, like. And so the aspect of like my desire to live and be free and live in abundance regardless, because yeah, again, I'd witness these people with so much being so tight, and I just so kind of grossed out by that energy, if I'm honest. And like, ugh, like, so, but anyway, and so now it's like, live it, but also live it with a sense of understanding the rules as they are without being naive. So like there's really crucial lessons as I continue to navigate this realm. And I get it. I get it because I'm not living yet in this more emotionally sound and aware. We're transitioning, and we're certainly focused there and moving toward there. But someone like me has to take the blinders off around everyone being love and light. It's just not, it's like, address the fact that there's still a dominant energetic bass tone of, and this is like, I say this with a lot of love and compassion, but there is still a lot of humans, if not even the majority, operating from fear. Going to our work and going to our church and going to our family reunions and going to do this and going to do that out of fear. And so stop making excuses, you know? Stop making excuses and just know the truth and live, or certainly endeavor to live my own truth, which is fearlessly. Which, my personal dharma. And I think it's normal. I've always thought I was just normal until, yeah, more leaps came. And then each new leap would have kind of wild undoings of the life I was living. Hence, all of the veils would get lifted. So I'm getting another biofeedback. That's something to be aware of when you're doing this transformational work. That's what happens, is that you're not under the illusion anymore. You see the truth in that moment. So the more in earnest you're doing this reflective work to empower the love and the freedom piece and the infinite abundance piece, the more anything that is limiting that abundance or that truth or that freedom, that will show itself to you. And because you have to own it all, essentially everyone is held in grace and safety, regardless of who is who. Whether you're the victim or the perpetrator or the hero or the savior or whatever, you know, we're all playing roles for one another in as far as our own awakening. Or maybe degradation, I don't know. Each soul is their own. That's part of the detachment piece, and also the releasing the karmic imprint that we're here to save. Or that we're in any kind of, because we are the one self. So like, well, if I'm trying to save everybody, then I'm missing the fucking point, right? Because I'm saving everybody from a premise of we're all fucked up, rather than just focusing on becoming the whole true self that one desires, to then see that and be able to better reflect that and own that and transmit that for the whole truth or the whole body of Christ, right? Darn it, there was something coming in there about the karma and like each of us has a function. And like we're not here to judge one another's function, but we can allow and accept all to be and continue our own inner work as far as coming back to compassion, coming back to grace, coming back to generosity, humility, and love. There again, with unconditional love, it doesn't mean we have to do something for other. It doesn't mean we owe anything to other. Again, that's part of that fucking debt-based economy thing. It's really just love in our hearts. Like, forgive ourselves, forgive one another. It's really easy when you take that time for self. What I recognize is people are so in there, even to the point of like, people are so fixed of like, no, I eat at 7. That's like, I've very briefly worked with people like that. oh no, I eat at 7, I couldn't meditate then. You're like, okay. Like, okay. Like, if we'll just want to throw excuses in my face constantly, then what are we doing? You know, like what if you want all the energy but you just don't want to do the work of it. You know, which is why I'm somebody who would certainly advocate self-practice. Like, as a yoga teacher, even you would have that, is that we become attached to our student-teacher dynamic. You know, the egotistical teacher in me would be like, oh no, my students need me. Like, no, they don't. You know, like, they can practice on their own or find another dime a dozen yoga teacher who, or work with you online, right? Took me a while to get there, but sure, they could eat meditatively. Meditatively? That's that singularity at source. That's right. Like, higher self, inner self, that's the source. And that's like a, pardon me, like some, almost like a spiraling infinity loop dynamic of um, revelation, right? Hi, Violet Melon. So maybe we came to recruit. That makes me think, Rochelle, that remember, it's always our own story. So I'm like, you're allowed to have your story. Just be aware that we often quite easily can get kind of intertwined or mingled with other story. And if it feels good, great. If it doesn't, maybe we shouldn't be on that train. You know? Like, so straight up my own stubbornness, but also my divine will has made it so that most of my life I've kind of looked for a home, and then got to a point where it was like, oh, I think I have to create it for myself. Like, I don't think I'm not gonna find a home in other, right? And then when we begin to anchor that, it's quite radical, because people don't realize how much they take for granted their home, their family, their network, their people, when they've never left or they've never had this kind of interesting, this kind of slightly different perspective. Thus, the slightly different perspective, which has made them feel like an alien most of their lives, going on this grand search for, where do I belong? It's like, you belong in the world that you're creating for yourself. I'm like, oh, oh, to love. um, so yeah. I think Airbnb is amazing. I mean, there's, I've had probably just as good, if not some better, experiences with Airbnb. Like, they're right up there with booking.com, or, and they all cross over as well. And nowadays, like, independent B&B owners or independent people are now just on all the sites. So you'll find oftentimes, like, what am I trying to say? I'm losing my steam here. Oh well, it's over. It's this is the end. I don't. I just lost my train of thought, but I'm also getting a bit sleepy. What dates, Rochelle? It's true. Like, the divine is just the everything. And like, I think that's part of the kind of the presence piece, and even the narcissistic awakening for empath community, is that in the here now, it is beautifully aligned to see the totality of humanity and all of our humanity encounters and experiences as the divine. However, it's important for an empath not to delude themselves with the truth of what someone is vibrating in the here now versus the potential of what they can create. And that is something about seeing divine, the truth, but not entangling ourselves with the evolution of their truth. In the here now, if the biofeedback isn't in alignment with our source, then it doesn't matter. Because we can't fix, change, or shape anyone. It's only our true self. Does that make sense to anyone? Feel like making love. Welcome to the living room, Daniel Sun, Manhattan. Andy P in the house. Rochelle's going to NYC for a graduation on the 24th of June. If anybody, and or in the future, if anybody comes along this year and has a sofa or a bedroom, a spare room for Rochelle, get in touch, yeah? Yeah, self is, bring it back, divine sight. So self is the only thing to really love, right? Hence the karma, law of attraction, karma, dharma, service. It's that thing is, we live in a materialistic driven separation worldview, right? So the ish about the whole law of attraction piece is that people want the stuff, but they don't want to do the karmic work. Right? They don't want to own the energies. And so this is where we get more laced control and domination. NLP, we get marketing, we get divisive and deceptive marketing tactic. People talking about, but the actual karmic work isn't happening. And I think increasingly with the earnestness of empath endeavoring true karma, true atonement, to arrive in that kind of dharma service, it's like you can't deny it. It's like clear as day and really obvious to me. And it's almost like you can feel the fearful underbelly in those that are still denying the truth of their own existence, or denying the ways in which they're controlling, manipulating people, because boy, it's ugly. Also because there's so many layers of shame and jealousy and resentment and guilt, especially like, for high up there ranking powerful spiritual leaders or super spicy dicey best-selling authors who have sold 1 million whatever, and it's all grace. To each their own, Anywho, there's my share for today, my lovers. I have loads of love for you. You guys know that, and mega appreciation for today. I feel hunger at this present moment, and I want to finish the monthly reading. So I will. Oh, Tabitha. I will likely finish the monthly readings today. I've just finished Sagittarius. I do not believe that I've actually published it though, so it's still unlisted. Oh, hunger here, right? I'm probably gonna go live at some point and do a little yoga crew sash, as in live for the yoga crew. And oh yeah, me and Divine Sight did an interview broadcast, or we're playing around with these interview broadcasts. Something I thought about Divine Sight was like actually just doing it an audio broadcast. So if there's still a real big delay, we could try just recording the audio and having like an image of us both. That could be something just to guarantee a clear transmission, right? For both of us and the community. So that's an idea that came through. So we're working on the interview platform for the channel. Any of you guys can reach out and let me know if that's something you'd be interested sharing your story perhaps, or maybe giving your insight perspective of a certain topic. A puppet show with audio. Andy darling, I want to get you on the screen. I'll get one of those shiny pictures of you. Life led by grace. So much love, tree hugger. Yeah. So that's what we're working on. I think that's it. Space Cadet. I will finish the monthly readings, and I'm feeling like developing the tarot for practice. So I might be doing maybe week by week, or we'll see. I appreciate you guys immensely. Thank you for your bookings, support, love, share, comments, likes, all that shit. And I'll see. I'm really enjoying. Whenever I come away from social media, I start to feel like space and clarity, and so I'm curious about that. Maybe just coming off and only focusing on the YouTube. We'll see. Then I'm like, as I say the words, I'm like, oh, maybe, I think I do. I think I need to have that kind of substantial breakage to come back to self, basically. I love you guys. God, who doesn't want to, be in the auto love community? I'm like, love us, love yourself, go splash your juice everywhere. Respectfully, obviously, but still. I just love you guys. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Probably tomorrow, maybe even later today. We shall see. I'm digging the color coordination, actually. The burgundy tights. Where's this burgundy? Yeah, a burgundy with the mustard vibrashe. Great autumnal colors. Should I do I do want to do that, though, actually. More vlogging. I've said this many a time. I'm just still navigating the depth of self-hatred. To do some, actual beauty tutorials. And I try to stop me, my lovers, but I straight up legit might put some more dark in my hair. Is that a bad thing? To put a bit, so more of my hair will be what am I doing? I catch myself oh, broadcast I was talking to my community, but so see the natural darkness. It's my natural hair, guys. Spiritual beauty sessions with MJ. Anyway, it's the Space MJ needs a little bit of food. Ooh, baby. Ooh, heaven, if you know the bugs. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Right here. Right here. Heaven. I'm hearing the actual beginning of this. Is that Linda Ronstadt? Who is that? Not Belinda Carlisle. Or maybe it is Belinda. Darn! She chose darn. I missed it. We bring it! We are it! My lovers! Because here's the thing, right? If we're projecting an illusion, it's we see it. We bring it. It's Belinda Carlisle. How do I know these things? I'm straight up 80s memory bank. I'm maybe it's the watching the Stranger Things that's bringing back all this 80s love. But I'm hearing oh my god, do you remember this song? Walk like an Egyptian. Is that Belinda Carlisle? Do you remember the movie? The Mannequin? That's something, it's a proper 80s movie with Kim Cattrall, and the beginning is, yes, you guys know it, go! And there's the Egyptian song. Safety Dance has been stuck in my head since I popped on LOL. What's Safety Dance? Why don't I know this one? Real experience is illusory perspective. In truth, that, what you just said, real experience, that's true. The experience is just a fluctuating, energetic, continual exchange. The experience. So there's no truth in anchored this is the real reality. No, it's not. Except that's part of the matrix dance. That's part of the 3D construct. It's also part of the deception of it, though. This is, no, this is the reality. Keep your minds on that. Stop believing that you could change it. Like, all of that is part of the control system, you know? Again, how does the control system operate? By us giving the power to it. Oh, over again, over again. Why do we give the power to it? Because we don't want to own our emotions, because there's some depth there. B-52s. Walk like an Egyptian, you mean? I don't know why I'm laughing like that, but like, the Bangles. The Bangles! That's what the B-52s, is that the Bangles? Because now I'm thinking of another song, which are not the Bangles, but that guy from REM was in this song. Shiny, happy people laughing, shiny, happy people holding hands. And then that guy, Michael Stein or Stepp or something from REM. Happy. I don't. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna stop singing songs I don't even know. You lay down. The songs you lay down are B-52s, right? Happy. So this person that I was saying that I just have such a love and fondness for, and I probably always will. That was something he used to say quite a bit. Was like, happiness. And I'm just like, get it? Penis? Happiness. Like, that's why you gotta just remember the good times that you have with people, and like, because then what I remember is like, that's the truth. Like, you know, like, the love and the laughter, that's the juice, and that's the truth. The betrayal and stuff is just stuff that comes up when we're endeavoring to empower our lives. And if people aren't meant to, you know, bittersweet life path, if people aren't meant to walk to the end with us, then that's just how it is, you know? But like, hey ho. Oh, Brenda Hernandez is in the house, my lovers. Brenda, you know what, girl? I'm pretty sure I was waiting around just for you. Because I often do, I'm pretty sure around like 33 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm out. and then I stuck around. I started talking about, what did I even start talking about? My hair, maybe? Or songs. B-52s, uppiness. and I think, Brenda, you'll appreciate this. The fact that regardless of how a situation has worked out, once we've effectively done the healing, that we can remember people that at times might have been like the most intense, like, painful person in our lives. And then when we finish the healing, there's just pure love, you know? There's just this like, but it's unconditional, truly, because like the love is just a felt loved of like loving the essence of someone, but really, really, truly not needing them in your life, and not even desiring them like to be in your life, because there's only freedom and love, you know? Girl, you are so loved. Everyone here is. I mean, all humans are, in truth. It's just that, like, the pain of the empath is like, we must remember. And then you just want everyone else to remember as well. Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's, you know, it's funny, the boundary piece, because I'm like, it's not like any of these people want back in. It's not like they're trying to, like, make contact or anything. So there's no like, obviously there's no expectation. And the boundary is just continuous, isn't it? The kind of noodling with the boundary. That's been a huge thing with the Saturn and Capricorn transit. Is like, certainly from that perspective of navigating through the 3D, it's like, having an awareness is what's paramount. Coming into full anchored intuition, and not being naive about things. So having things to ourselves they won't access without is true. And that's just what's not being tolerated anymore. All right, my lovers. Do you like my slightly smoky eyes, but possibly a little messy? Anyway, some you can't get out of your life totally. No, but they're not like a present. I mean, and like this, it's not like this person necessarily is ever gone forever because they're still in the field, right? And they're still love. But well, we know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter ultimately. It doesn't matter because to each their own. And of course, we all have like a toe. Like we all have our relationships, right? We all have our our people, and Molly, dude, isn't making any sense anymore. And she just, I have yoga today. Did you guys ever used to bite your toenails? Did you ever do that when you were as a kid? It's so disgusting, but like, but then no more disgusting than period blood. I'm like, what am I talking about? I mean, it's not disgusting at all. We're beautiful. Even the bits that are kind of disgusting and toe jammy, we're like, it's beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. It's like I'm singing to my foot like it's a precious baby. I have long monkey toes. It's fine. Toes are hilarious though. Like, I don't know if you guys can see. I have a special thing where like my that toe right there is taller. It doesn't look so bad on the camera, but boy, oh boy, did my sister ever tease me when I was little. She's like, your second toe is like a finger, Molly. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I would like try to hide it. Especially if I was like dating a boy, I would like try to hide the fact that my second, look now, I have rings on my second toes just to make use of my finger toes. Divine side, hey, soul familia. I have headscar too. It's like Harry Potter clan. But you can't, it's funny because like it's not as bad I think as it used to be, because it used to feel like if you put them over here, look there, you can really tell. It's like, oh, hello. But apparently that's like there's all these different toe styles and toe styles and monkey toes. I remember growing up in high school, there was a girl, she was very, very tall, blonde, shiny and beautiful. And she had these finger toes. And I just remember like, I don't know if it was because I was a dancer growing up or what have you, but like, I have always had a bit of a fascination with feet, not like a fetish. Like, I don't want to suck people's feet, like straight up, but I think because I've worked through all these different like self-hatred things. As a dancer, I never liked my feet. I thought like my arch wasn't high enough, like when I would point my feet, and again, my weird second long toe. And then I can remember around the last year of high school, there was a girl from a different art college, and she approached me to be part of her art project, and she did a whole bunch of series of different, she made a film, she did like an installation, and then she asked me to come in and perform a dance piece for her class as part of this entire installation. I don't remember quite the theme. And somehow in rehearsing with her, I let out the fact that, ew, my feet are disgusting. Like I wish I could kind of cover them up all the time. And she's an artist, obviously, in various modalities. But this girl, her name is Jessica, super gorge, like, her response was, it changed the game for me. Because I was just like, and she was like, She's like, how could you not love your feet, Molly? You're a dancer. And it was like, and then she put it into framework. If she was like, there was a time where I didn't like my hands, but then my hands are what allow me to create these pieces of art and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, oh yeah, what am I doing here? Not liking it, or like not loving my feet. And so since then, it's just been like this journey of self-love of the feet. And I think feet are, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like hands and feet are like attraction points. Like I joke about it, but it's kind of real for me. Like if I'm not attracted to a man's hands, you could be a really nice guy, but if I'm not feeling the hands, like, and it's not like obvious. It's not about how big they are, or it's not any of that shit. It's just, and feet as well. So if I'm like completely turned off by the hands or the feet, I can be just turned off by the totality. And I'm sure everyone has those things. It's like, well, anything. I've just been consecutively dumped by every Tinder match I had. So it's like, clearly there are things, I might love myself real full, but if somebody else, anyway, I'm not here to justify why I'm like, it doesn't matter, I'm happy on my lover. And also it's not a vouch for dating. Okay. Totally hands and feet, major attraction point. Like holla. Like if I like straight up, like a man, I might not even find the man that attractive, but if they've got good hands, I'm like, like, and then he like morphs and like shape shifts into a desirable specimen, and I'm like, oh yeah. Am I still talking 20 minutes later? Have I spoken at all about law of attraction, karma, and paradigm shift? No, I started talking about my hair, my clothes, and dating. We need to get a little private for all of us singles in the Ultra Love community. Not that I want to like exclude people in relationships, or you can pretend to be single just for the fun of it. For the hell of it. Something like a hot rod. You know the salt and pepper? Whoop. What's that song? Ooh, whoop. Where they go whoop. That's still, let's talk about sex, baby. That's not that song. Whoop, baby, whoop, baby. You know that? Are you getting that? Anyway, okay, well, whatever, you guys. Like, so I'm pretty sure at some point this year we'll be getting together and have a swoop. Fucking right on, you guys. Shoot, baby, shoot. Oh, I'm such a dork. Whoop. What did I say? Whoop. So I watched The Goop. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep talking because I'll probably just digress into pure verbal diarrhea coming from my arsehole. Oh my goodness. Oh, Brenda. Oh, all of you. I just love you. I actually have a date coming up for the first time in a while. So, yes. Okay, so Andy P, you're going to have to let us know how that goes, sweetie. Be safe. Use protection. Oh, God. I just wish, like, right in this moment, I really wish I could sign off with, like, knowing all of the lyrics of Salt and Pepper. Unfortunately, like, the chunk of lyrics that's coming to mind is just crude. It's something like, it's a song about boys going down on girls. And for some reason, it was probably like the one and only song that me and my girlfriends, like, or, they all memorized. And I was like, I need you to memorize it too, because I need to know the words. I'm so uncool because I never know the words of songs. Because, like, you know, it's like the thing in high school, and like, I'm like singing along to a song. And I'm sure I had one of my friends like proper tease me, but I'm like, Molly, that's not the words. And I'd be, no, I'm such a loser. But this one song, something like you can slurp it up from my cup or something. Finger licking good, and I'm wishing that you would go down. It's so just so crude and just like, hey, Lorna, oh God, bah! I'm talking about. But then I'm like, there's nothing crude about it. Oh yeah, whatever you do, please don't go chasing waterfalls. That's not Salt and Pepper though. That's TLC. And TLC have also done. And then there's Vogue. What you gonna be? I can't remember. Don't you wanna be more than friends? Only time to let go. Don't let go. Remember that song on Vogue? And then Nailed It, TLC. Thank you. What was it, TLC? Oh yeah, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. I mean, and like, there's some juice. I'm just gonna update my Bumble profile. Can you send me a screenshot of your Bumble profile, please, Andy? Please. Please! Just so I can see it. And like, anyway. Okay, I'm actually sweating. I shaved my hair. So okay, final note, you guys. I shaved my armpits yesterday. I haven't shaved anything for like a while. And that's like a thing for me, like not. And I had this whole thing of like, God, why did girls shave? Weird. I'm like, there's a huge thing about like, and I'm gonna be straight up legit. I'm like, I probably, dare I say in this community, that none of you guys give a Ross about whether or not your girl is totally shaven. Like, that is real love, you guys. When a girl doesn't feel pressured to every other day be shaving every part of her body to please men because of the paradigm of what it projected women to be. And I know most awakened, evolved, and empowered women would be like, oh my God, is she just realizing the I'm like, I just always was like, I like shaving. I'm like, but do I really like shaving? I'm like, now that I'm letting these bad boys grow to the brim, I'm like, one, I have a lot of patches at this stage of my life. Two, I'm like, what? There's nothing wrong with hair. So our weird clinical material world is increasingly just like, like the things that the world's like, this is beauty. I'm like, no, it's not. That's just fakery and bullshit. And it's not that I'm like, these women aren't free the toes. I do like to free the toes and do toe exercises. So you can do like, see how I'm like moving them. This is all stuff I got from the dancing days. Ooh, can't go that way. Ooh, see how that hooks around? So technically I could make my toes as dexterous as my fingers. But they're not quite there. I would need to practice my toe exercises every day, and I don't, so. Should we together do some toe exercise? Should I start a new channel? Toes. I'm gonna go now, you guys. I'm going to crack on with the readings. I have 3 more to do for the monthlies of March. And I might do a little teeth whitening jam sesh. And I might do, so this is the stuff I like share with you guys about like what do I do when I'm broke ass and can't afford to go to the people who kind of have more intense stuff. And then what up? So this is like the random self-care stuff that I like to do. Well, I'm clear that way. And then scrub my face. Yoga toe flow is happening. I'm gonna do my yoga crew sesh later. And probably put some deodorant on. You know why, my lovers? Because it stinks up in here. Just joshing. Anyway, nice to see you, Rob. Everybody else have a wicked day. I love you. You're the best. You're the best. Nah. Hot yoga, brill. I mean, I like it all. I like the hot yoga in tropical climate. I like the cold yoga when it's chilly outside. And then mainly I just love being here with you guys, my lovers. Have a great day. Have a great sleep. I know, Rob, dude, I've been here for like over an hour. But come on back, my friend. And also I'm going to be finishing up the reading. So I might go live for one of the readings. So I'll see you guys real soon, okay? Have a great sleep. Or a great day if you're waking up like me at 3 in the morning. Or it might not even be 3 yet, but yeah. Okay, you guys, I'll see you next time. Have an awesome day. Mega appreciation. Love you loads. Peace.